Good day, my people. It's your coach PK coming at you live from the comfort of my home, and today I'm here on this live video and also recording it and to talk to you about some of the things that I come to my attention. I'm not saying I didn't see, but this is just what came to my attention. I saw some footage of some plays. Obviously, play alone doesn't mean anything, but I want to talk to you about the refereeing on a game between South Sudan and Team USA, and also South Sudan and Team Serbia. So these two games that Team South Sudan lost, and I just wanted to talk to you about some of the referees' decisions that have come up on that game that I've seen. So obviously FIBA has been very secretive and very, closed doors about the rights of who was allowed to watch or show the games, or was about to record the games and things like that. We should sort of understand where they are coming from, but I just wanted to bring to your attention what I saw and what my thoughts are on these particular games that has happened. So obviously Team South Sudan lost both games against Team USA by 17 points, and then also against Team Serbia by I think 14 points or so. They try hard, they play hard as per usual, but there wasn't quite enough. And I'm not taking anything from Team USA. I'm definitely not taking anything from Team Serbia. They are two powerhouses. They're two great nations when it comes to basketball, and they have the reputation. They have the players, several players in the NBA from Team Serbia, including the former two-times MVP Nikola Jokic, big player, definitely a great contributor for the game of basketball in general. Now, what it came to my attention is I was watching my TikTok, and as I'm watching the TikTok, the president of Basketball Federation of South Sudan came up. Obviously you know him. Luol Deng is a former Chicago Bulls player, a former NBA All-Star, a former first team defensive player in the NBA, so 6'9", great player. I enjoy watching him a lot. It was such an inspiration to see him playing. I think he grew up in England and then went up in college, went through the college system in the States, and then ended up in the NBA. He played most of his game in the Chicago Bulls uniform. His last year was at LA, but he never I think he played maybe 2 or 3 games, and then he was buyed out to retire. So after his retirement, he decided to go back to his home country of South Sudan and rebuild basketball in South Sudan. The idea was for him to rebuild basketball in South Sudan, so then South Sudan could reunite. So if they can get players from different parts of South Sudan playing on the same team and being successful, obviously it became a big thing for the country in general, for the unification of the country. South Sudan is a country of only 13 years, so they're very young, but Luol Deng, with his own money, he pretty much went there and put the players on a program. Many of those players are actually from Australia, so they either born here or grew up here, but they obviously have the dual citizenship, so they decided to go and play for South Sudan, which is great, because maybe they wouldn't have a chance with playing Team Australia anyway, because the Team Australia is so much stronger, and it's such good teams and good players. Not taking anything out of them, obviously they are players, they are training, they are getting better every day, and they have the facilities here that we have in Australia, the basketball courts, and proper balls, proper shoes, proper equipment to practice every day. So we have so many stadiums where they can practice, from Werribee all the way to Collingwood and Pakenham, you name it, State Basketball Centre, Melbourne. There's places where people can go and practice and play basketball in a good environment. So my throat is getting dry. Anyway, but my take on the game South Sudan USA and game South Sudan Serbia as well is the following. I won't talk much about the game USA because it sort of was physical, but the reality is the following. The game against Serbia, it was 6 free throw shooting in total for South Sudan and 39 for Serbia. So this number alone to me is a bit disturbing because, I mean, yes, I get it, and I think the referees have done nothing wrong. The referees, they're calling the game as they know how to call the game, and they're calling it as they see it, which is great. So it's up to, usually we say it's up to the teams and the players to adjust to what the referees are calling. And I think, I'm sure the South Sudan team tried to adjust, but apparently it didn't work very well. So maybe the referees could have been a bit more stronger, use more voice. If I was refereeing, I know I would have done that. So with my own experience, I ref a lot of game where there is like a metro team versus a country team, which the games get a bit. They play differently. Like in the country, a lot of kids, they play many different sports, not just basketball. They play rugby, they play footy, they play cricket, and also basketball. So basketball is just one of them. Therefore, they tend to bring some habits of other sports into basketball sometimes, especially the physicality part of the game. While in the metro, pretty much if you play basketball, you only play basketball because you won't have time to train basketball and train another game and then play for both of them as well. So, and plus, it's very expensive for the kids to actually play basketball, with the training, the fees, and so on and so on and so on. And so therefore, they play differently. And refereeing this game, as a referee, you have to mitigate. You have to bring them in the middle range, a little bit. Don't let it get rough. Let it get a little bit physical. Don't let it get too soft. Let it a little bit, So you balance it. You balance it very well. I can balance it well as well in my experience because I do referee domestics a lot, and then I referee Big V and VC, VJBL, VC level. So therefore, the games are also a little bit different on the way you sort of referee. Refereeing domestic, you just react. You call everything consistently. You go on reaction of what has happened. While with Big V and VC, sometimes you have to hold your whistle and see what happened and then make that decision. So I can balance from one to the other, and so I can sort of sneak in and be crafty enough to know which one I'm refereeing, what to call, what not to call. So for many referees, this is not possible, especially in an environment where there is thousands of people screaming and TVs and all that, all that pressure. I mean, most of the referees at FIBA level, at that level anyway, this is the highest level of basketball refereeing in the world, other than the NBA. But the NBA is a little bit different because the NBA, I always say the NBA is a little bit of commercialized sort of game, while the FIBA is just straight up game play. 505 in the rules are applied as rules in the book. I just found it that what Luol Deng was saying is that he actually was very positive about it, and he said we need referees from Africa as well, because there was 0 referee from Africa in this FIBA competition. And Africa has got 2 representatives, one from the women, which is Nigeria, they qualified for the quarterfinals, and one for the men, which was South Sudan, which they didn't qualify for the quarterfinal, but they did at least win one game at least against Puerto Rico, which they did really, really well. So, this is where I'm coming from when I'm saying, it is a world competition. It's not just Europe, it's not just South America, it's not just Asia. So it's a world competition. Why not have representatives from every single part of the world? Why not have referees from Asia? Why not have referees from Africa? Why only have referees mostly from Europe? I know the competition in Europe is bigger, but the way obviously they ref, the way they play in Europe, and the way they play in Africa and in South America and Asia is a little bit different. You need referees that are strong and experienced enough to balance the foul calls. And I'm not saying to make up calls or to not make calls. What I'm saying is to balance it in a way where you can manage it by either using your voice to prevent if you think the team is playing a little bit too aggressive, or they are being too physical, to prevent all these many calls, because to have a foul count 6 to 39 at the end is a massive difference. It's a 33 foul shots more than South Sudan had. Even if they only scored half of those free throws, they still would have beat South Sudan. And obviously they didn't score. I mean, as a referee, we always tend to don't want to be the one deciding the game. You want the players to decide the game, and therefore, our foul counts is, like I said, it's not supposed to be matching, but at least try to keep it fair in a way where you are calling a bit of that and a bit of this, and also it would be just easier if you have a referee from Africa, because the way they ref in Africa and the way they ref in Europe or in South America or in Asia is a little bit different, the way they play as well, the game. But if it's a world game where, it's a world game where everybody from every continent, we want to welcome everybody from every continent and make this a world game like we always talk about. Why not have an African referee as well? And I'm not saying to referee the actual game where South Sudan is playing or where Nigerian women are playing. I'm just saying to referee the game as well at this stage, so then other countries can also feel and see what Africa basketball is like and how they call over there. So it's just an observation that I sort of had, and I thought I'll come in on this live here, down here, and also on recording up there, and express my feelings about it. I just feel like we could try to, and I referee many games, and let's say if I referee a team where I had a bit of a disagreement, a bit of a tough talk with the coach or tough talk with the player, and then we're gonna go and ref them again the next day, and I noticed straight away the play is a little bit, there's a bit of anxiety, a bit of he doesn't feel very good because he's thinking maybe I'm gonna call. I personally don't. Maybe I'm gonna call against him because I didn't like him from last time. To be honest, with me, when I ref a game, I forget about it straight after the game is finished. The next game is a new story, it's a new day, it's a new beginning. But if South Sudan felt like they were a hard time when they played Team USA, and then they feel like they're hard done again when they play Team Serbia, is especially because the referees are mostly from the Europe area. And like I said, I'm not, not shade at all against the referees. That's how they've been taught to ref. That's how they ref. That's what they always want to be ref, and that's fine by me. But what my point here is to come is that why not have a referee as well from Africa? I don't know if they had anyone from Asia. I know there is one or two from South America, and America, USA, and also obviously most of them are from Europe. I understand there is more European players on the competition than any other nation, so I sort of understand why we have more referees from these countries. But I just feel like we're missing the point of calling it a world Olympic game, which Olympic has got the rings with different colors, meaning it unites and invites every single continent. Which there's 5 rings. Every single continent are invited, feeling they are contributing to these games. This is just my point. So I didn't feel like I feel like we deserve to have at least one African referee, or if not 2, because we had 2 representatives on the game with Nigeria and South Sudan. I wish they did really well. To me, they did really well to the way they play and carry themselves. I just think it's fair to have representatives as a referee, because they was what the South Sudanese team were complaining. I was born in Angola, and I used to watch Angola play. A few years ago, Angola used to be the best team in Africa for many, many years, and we had exactly the same situation, exactly the same problems, where we felt like the referees weren't calling it fairly, because they're not used to the physicality of the game that they play in Africa in general. And I understand that players have to adjust, coaches have to adjust the way they're calling on a game, but we just need to be more mindful that once the team start thinking they are being hard done by the referees, they don't play their best, they put their heads down, and that's not what we want. That's not what we are looking for in a FIBA, and that's not what we are looking for in the Olympics. We want players to feel good about themselves, feel like they are welcome and invited. And I just feel like then if we had an African referee on those games, it will make them a bit easy. They could have communicated with him as also a little bit better. I'm not saying they don't speak English. They are all those players and the coaches speak English really, really well. I just feel like they wouldn't understand them the way they wouldn't understand another person from your same continent. So this is where I'm coming from. I hope this video has been not too confronting to you, but I had this in my chest and I needed to put it out there and throw it out there, and this is what I have to do. So anyway, don't go away, watch this video over here, and also watch this video over here in the middle where my face is. Click on it, click on the subscribe button, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss my very next video. Until then, have a great day.